Did you know that something as simple as what you eat before bed could literally stop your heart while you sleep, especially after the age of 60? It might sound like a dramatic claim, but I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that thousands of seniors die each year because of a simple habit they had just hours before bed. Foods that sit in your kitchen, things you might be consuming every single night, could be silently increasing your risk of a life-threatening event. What's worse, you might not even realize it until it's too late. Tonight, I'm going to reveal 9 dangerous foods that seniors should avoid consuming before bed, including one that caused a tragic death just recently. You don't want to miss this information. It could literally save your life. Let me share a story with you about Richard. Richard was a 78-year-old man from Michigan who was considered the picture of health. He was active, walking 2 miles every morning without fail. He made sure to have regular checkups with his doctor and felt confident that he was taking all the right steps to live a long and healthy life. But there was one thing Richard never suspected. His evening snack, the one he thought was harmless, was silently damaging his heart. Every night before bed, Richard would enjoy his go-to snack, a small treat he'd always considered a comfort. What he didn't know was that this seemingly innocent ritual was actually causing dangerous inflammation in his body, putting immense stress on his heart and blood vessels as he slept. One morning, Richard's daughter found him. He had passed away peacefully in his sleep, or so it seemed at first. But the doctors delivered shocking news. The cause of death was a massive heart attack that occurred during the night. After reviewing his medical history and habits, the cardiologist explained that certain foods, especially when consumed late in the evening, can create a perfect storm in senior bodies, triggering heart failure or other deadly conditions while asleep. The most heartbreaking part of this story? This tragedy was entirely preventable. If Richard had known what I'm about to share with you, he would still be here today. He never realized the risk he was putting himself in every single night. Could it be that you're unknowingly making the same deadly mistake Richard made? Now, I want to walk you through the 9 foods you absolutely must avoid before bedtime if you're over 60. These foods are more dangerous than you may think and could be contributing to heart attacks, strokes, and other life-threatening conditions during the night. And make sure to pay special attention to number 3 on this list. It's the one most directly linked to nighttime heart attacks, and it could be in your kitchen right now. If you or a loved one are nearing 60 or are already in this age group, don't wait until it's too late. Take the time to listen closely, because this small change could make all the difference in your food. Before we begin, if you haven't subscribed yet, I recommend you subscribe and turn on the bell so you don't miss any videos. If you enjoy this video, please type 1 in the comments. If you don't like it, type 0 in the comments to let me know so I can make better videos for you. Now let's get started. Food 1. Processed cheese and high-sodium dairy. Could that innocent-looking cheese snack you love so much be setting you up for a midnight emergency? The answer might be more terrifying than you think. That slice of processed cheese you enjoy on your evening crackers could actually be far more dangerous than you realize. Cardiologists at the American Heart Association have issued strong warnings that consuming processed cheese products before bed can trigger dangerous fluid retention and cause spikes in blood pressure during sleep hours. Dr. Richard Stein, a prominent cardiologist, explains that the combination of high sodium and saturated fats in processed cheese creates a perfect storm for your cardiovascular system while you sleep. The body's natural ability to regulate blood pressure during the night is already weakened, and adding these ingredients to the mix can be catastrophic. The result is a dramatic rise in blood pressure, which puts an immense strain on your heart and circulatory system when your body is meant to be resting and recovering. Let me share a story about Mary, a 67-year-old retired teacher from Oregon. Mary lived an active life and had no known history of heart problems, but for months she struggled with sudden, severe breathing difficulties during the night. At 2 a.m., she would often wake up gasping for air, unable to breathe deeply or comfortably. Her doctors were initially baffled and couldn't understand why this was happening. After a thorough investigation, they discovered the culprit: her nightly snack of cheese and crackers. The sodium in the processed cheese was causing dangerous fluid buildup in her lungs during the night, a condition known as pulmonary edema. This fluid retention made it extremely difficult for Mary to breathe while she slept. But once she eliminated this seemingly innocent snack from her routine, the change was almost immediate. Within just 2 weeks of cutting out her nightly cheese habit, Mary's blood pressure readings returned to normal, and the frightening breathing episodes stopped completely. Now ask yourself, are you really willing to risk your life for a slice of processed cheese? If you enjoy a nighttime snack, consider replacing processed cheese with something healthier. A small portion of unsalted nuts or a slice of fresh low-sodium mozzarella can provide a satisfying snack without the dangers of high sodium and saturated fats. You may think you're just indulging in a harmless treat, but it's time to reconsider. Your heart and health are far more valuable than a single slice of cheese. When you wake up tomorrow morning healthy and refreshed, you'll be glad you made this change. After all, how much is your life worth? Certainly, it's worth more than a slice of processed cheese. Food 2. High sugar cereals and desserts. That seemingly innocent bowl of cereal or the occasional cookie before bed. What if I told you it could be triggering dangerous blood sugar fluctuations while you sleep? Fluctuations that could put your heart and health at risk? You might be unknowingly gambling with your well-being each night. Research from the prestigious Mayo Clinic Sleep Center shows that consuming sugar before bedtime causes dramatic swings in blood glucose levels, which can lead to heart palpitations and increase the risk of stroke, particularly for seniors over the age of 60. Dr. Varen Summers, a leading sleep researcher at Mayo Clinic, explains that the nighttime hours are already a vulnerable time for seniors when it comes to cardiac events. Our bodies are naturally in a more relaxed state during sleep, and our hearts are often under more stress as a result of blood pressure fluctuations and other factors. When you add sugar spikes from sweets or sugary snacks into the mix, you're putting extra strain on your heart, making it more prone to arrhythmias, a potentially fatal condition that can occur when the heart beats irregularly. Let me share the story of George, a 71-year-old man from Florida, who thought he was just enjoying a harmless bedtime snack. For years, George would wind down each evening with a bowl of sweetened cereal. It was his ritual, something he considered a comforting way to end the day. But one night after a routine checkup, his doctor made a startling discovery. George's blood sugar levels were crashing dangerously low in the middle of the night, right around 3 a.m. when he was deep in sleep. George wore a continuous glucose monitor that tracked his blood sugar levels overnight. The data was shocking. Within just an hour of eating his sugary cereal, his blood sugar would spike to diabetic levels, but by the time he was deep into his sleep cycle, his blood sugar would plummet to dangerously low levels, putting immense strain on his heart and increasing his risk of a cardiac event. The crash in blood sugar would trigger a physiological response that stressed his cardiovascular system, making it harder for his body to regulate heart rhythms. I had no idea that something as simple as my bedtime cereal was putting me at risk, George admitted after his cardiologist explained the situation. I thought it was just a harmless habit. But it wasn't harmless. This seemingly innocent bedtime snack was wreaking havoc on George's health, and he wasn't alone. Many seniors make the same mistake without even realizing it. The rapid glucose fluctuations caused by sugary foods before bed can be dangerous, especially as we age and our bodies become less efficient at regulating blood sugar. So, instead of continuing the cycle of nightly risk, consider switching your evening treat to something healthier. Try a small apple with a teaspoon of almond butter, which provides a steady source of energy and won't cause dangerous spikes and crashes in your blood sugar. The healthy fats and natural sugars in the apple, combined with the protein in almond butter, help maintain stable blood sugar levels, giving your heart a better chance to rest and recover while you sleep. It's never too late to make a change. Don't wait until it's too late. Is that cookie or bowl of sugary cereal worth risking your life for? I don't think so. By making this simple switch tonight, you could significantly reduce your risk of a nighttime health emergency. After all, your heart and your life are worth more than a few moments of sweet indulgence. Food 3. Spicy foods. Is your love of spice putting you at risk for a midnight health crisis? Spicy foods, something many of us crave and enjoy, could be more dangerous than you think, especially before bed. If you find yourself reaching for hot sauce or those fiery chili peppers late at night, you might be unknowingly setting yourself up for a terrifying health emergency in the middle of the night. The science behind it is clear, and the risks are real. Gastroenterologists from the National Institute on Aging have documented that consuming spicy foods before bedtime can trigger acid reflux, which mimics the symptoms of a heart attack. This condition is not just uncomfortable. In severe cases, it can actually trigger a cardiac event through stimulation of the vagus nerve, which controls heart rate and breathing. Dr. Anil Rusky, the chief of gastroenterology at Columbia University, warns that the inflammatory response caused by spicy foods sets off a cascade of physiological stress in the body, which peaks while you're lying down and sleeping. This creates the perfect storm for both reflux and cardiovascular strain, particularly when your body is at its most vulnerable, during deep sleep. Let me tell you about Patricia, a 68-year-old woman from Arizona. She had always loved her spicy tacos, and it was a habit she never thought twice about. But one fateful night, she woke up at 2 a.m. in the most terrifying way possible. "I woke up with crushing chest pain and couldn't breathe," she recalls, her voice still shaking from the memory. "My husband called 911. At first, Patricia thought she was having a heart attack, but after a series of tests, the doctors revealed that what she experienced was actually severe acid reflux, triggered by the spicy food she had eaten just before bed. While Patricia's case wasn't a heart attack that night, her doctor explained the long-term danger of consistently eating spicy foods before bed. The inflammation caused by the spicy meal put intense strain on her heart and digestive system, increasing the risk that one night the acid reflux could evolve into a real cardiac event. "I never connected my love of spicy food with my nighttime health scares until my doctor explained the relationship," Patricia admits, reflecting on how unaware she had been of the risk. Are you making the same mistake Patricia made? The good news is that it's easy to make a change that could protect your heart and health. If you enjoy flavorful meals, switch to milder, non-irritating foods at least 3 hours before bedtime. Opt for foods that are gentle on your stomach, such as a small portion of whole grains or lean proteins. And if you must have flavor, use herbs like basil, oregano, or thyme, which can provide a delicious kick without causing harm to your digestive or cardiovascular systems. Ask yourself, is that spicy dish worth the risk? Is it worth spending the night in the emergency room, or even worse, risking a condition that could keep you from waking up at all? Protect yourself and your loved ones tonight. Your health is far too precious to gamble with. Food 4. Processed meats, the silent killer in your fridge. This food might be the most dangerous thing sitting in your refrigerator right now, one that could be quietly preparing to strike when you're most vulnerable, while you're sleeping. Processed meats, like bacon, salami, hot dogs, sausages, deli ham, and other nitrate-preserved products, are more than just a salty indulgence. They've been directly linked to nighttime heart attacks in seniors, a connection most people don't discover until it's too late. Despite their convenience and flavor, these meats have become a major hidden threat to heart health after age 60. Do you know what's really in those meats? Behind the savory taste lies a chemical cocktail of sodium, nitrates, nitrites, and preservatives. When these ingredients are digested, they form toxic compounds called nitrosamines, substances that increase inflammation, oxidative stress, and arterial stiffness. And during sleep, when the body's metabolic functions slow down and the heart is naturally more susceptible, this damage is magnified. It creates the perfect storm for a sudden and fatal cardiac event. Dr. Michael Miller, director of the Center for Preventive Cardiology at the University of Maryland Medical Center, warns, nitrates and nitrites in processed meats can become extremely harmful in the body. They generate compounds that not only irritate the arteries, but weaken the heart's natural rhythm control, especially during rest. Seniors are particularly at risk during sleep when blood pressure dips and oxygen levels fluctuate. Let me tell you about Thomas, a 78-year-old grandfather from Ohio. A retired contractor, active and seemingly healthy, Thomas had no prior history of heart disease. He walked daily, watched his weight, and even took pride in cooking at home. But there was one routine he never questioned. Every night around 10 p.m., he'd settle in to watch the news with a plate of salami and crackers. It was his way of relaxing, his nightly treat. What he didn't know was that this habit was steadily eroding the health of his heart. One morning, Thomas never woke up. His wife found him still in bed, seemingly at peace. But the autopsy revealed a far more tragic truth. He had suffered a heart attack in his sleep, triggered by a spike in nighttime cardiovascular stress. His blood showed elevated nitrate compounds from the processed meat he had consumed just hours before. According to the medical examiner, this one habit was likely the tipping point. Thomas's family was left devastated and shocked. He had no warning signs, no chest pain, no irregular heartbeat, just a deadly food choice he believed was harmless. Could this be you? You might think, it's just a few slices of deli meat, what's the harm? But the data doesn't lie. Seniors who consume processed meats regularly have a significantly higher risk of heart attack, stroke, and sudden cardiac death, particularly at night when the body's ability to regulate stress hormones and blood pressure is already reduced. And here's what's most frustrating. This risk is 100% preventable. There's a better choice. If you're someone who needs a bit of protein before bed, and many seniors do, swap out those risky processed meats for plain, unseasoned baked chicken, a hard-boiled egg, or even a few spoonfuls of cottage cheese, low in sodium. These alternatives are high in protein but free from harmful nitrates and excessive sodium. They give your body the nourishment it needs without the ticking time bomb that comes with salami, bacon, or packaged deli meats. Ask yourself, is that hot dog worth a midnight heart attack? Is that slice of salami worth leaving your loved ones with unanswered questions? Is your life worth more than the 90 seconds it takes to make a safer choice? This isn't about guilt, it's about power. You have the power to literally save your life with one small decision tonight. The next time you reach for processed meat before bed, think of Thomas, think of his wife, think of the heart you depend on every day and every night. Clear out the nitrate-loaded meats from your fridge. Start fresh. Start smart. Because you deserve to wake up tomorrow. Food 5. Alcoholic beverages is your nightcap, putting you at risk for heart strain and sleep disruption. That seemingly harmless glass of wine or nightcap you enjoy before bed might be much more dangerous than you realize. For many seniors, it's a comforting ritual, a way to unwind, soothe stress, or help with sleep. But what if this very habit is silently sabotaging your health while you sleep? The truth is more alarming than most people realize. Sleep specialists at the Stanford Sleep Medicine Center have discovered a shocking link between alcohol consumption before bed and dangerous disruptions in sleep quality, particularly among older adults. As we age, the body becomes more sensitive to the physiological effects of alcohol. Research shows that alcohol can cause a reduction in oxygen saturation by up to 15% during critical deep sleep stages, leading to impaired breathing and increased stress on the cardiovascular system. In simple terms, your heart is forced to work overtime while your body rests, placing you in a high-risk zone for cardiac emergencies like heart attacks or strokes. Dr. Rafael Pilo, a clinical professor at Stanford Sleep Medicine, explains that alcohol functions as a potent muscle relaxant, particularly targeting the throat muscles that help keep your airway open during sleep. This leads to partial airway collapse, similar to what occurs in sleep apnea, resulting in oxygen deprivation throughout the night. With every drop in oxygen levels, your heart has to pump harder and faster to compensate, an exhausting and dangerous cycle, especially for seniors whose cardiovascular reserves are already lower. Let me share the story of Howard, a 73-year-old retired accountant from Texas. For decades, Howard had a nightly ritual of enjoying 2 glasses of red wine after dinner. He believed it was healthy, something he'd read about in health magazines, and it helped him relax after a long day. But when he began experiencing unusual fatigue, morning headaches, and occasional chest discomfort, his doctor recommended a sleep study. The results were nothing short of shocking. My oxygen levels dropped to dangerous levels dozens of times each hour after I had alcohol before bed, Howard shares. The doctor said it was as if my body was gasping for air all night. The sleep study also revealed that his sleep apnea was 3 times more severe on nights he drank alcohol. What he thought was harmless relaxation was actually placing his heart in crisis, night after night. Howard's cardiologist didn't mince words. He told Howard that he was unknowingly gambling with his life by continuing his nightly wine ritual. The combination of oxygen desaturation and cardiovascular strain created a perfect storm for a nighttime heart attack or stroke, a risk that many seniors never realize they're taking. Are you willing to take the same risk as Howard did? The good news is that you don't have to give up your evening ritual entirely. There's a simple and heart-healthy alternative that can still provide comfort and relaxation. Try a warm mug of chamomile tea or a small glass of tart cherry juice instead. Chamomile has been shown to naturally reduce anxiety, promote restful sleep, and calm the nervous system. Tart cherry juice, rich in antioxidants and melatonin, has been proven to help regulate sleep cycles without the negative cardiovascular impact of alcohol. Ask yourself this: is that glass of wine really worth the risk of not waking up tomorrow morning? Our body, your heart, and your future deserve better. Take a stand for your health tonight. Switch out the alcohol for something your heart will thank you for, and enjoy deeper sleep, clearer mornings, and greater peace of mind. Protect your health. Protect your sleep. Make the life-saving choice tonight. Food 6. Caffeinated foods and beverages. Could that cup of coffee or piece of chocolate be putting your heart at risk? You might be surprised to learn that your favorite late-night chocolate snack or a cup of coffee after dinner could be silently impacting your heart while you sleep. The risk is far more serious than you may think. That seemingly harmless chocolate bar or caffeinated beverage might be setting you up for a dangerous cardiac event in the middle of the night. Research from the Harvard Medical School Sleep Laboratory has shown that consuming caffeine as little as 6 hours before bedtime can significantly increase both nighttime blood pressure and heart rate variability in seniors, creating dangerous conditions for heart-related incidents, including heart attacks and arrhythmias. Dr. Charles Chisler, the chief of sleep medicine at Brigham and Women's Hospital, explains that caffeine has a half-life of 5 to 7 hours, meaning that even after several hours, half of the caffeine you've consumed is still active in your bloodstream, keeping your heart racing and increasing its workload while you sleep. For seniors, this is particularly dangerous, as their cardiovascular systems are already vulnerable, and caffeine can exacerbate underlying heart conditions without you even realizing it. Let me tell you about Meredith, a 70-year-old from Washington. She was baffled by the heart palpitations she started experiencing in the middle of the night, often waking up to her heart racing at around 2 a.m. "I would feel this racing heart almost every night, but I couldn't figure out what was causing it," Meredith recalls. After visiting her doctor, it was revealed that her dark chocolate evening treat, which she had been enjoying regularly before bed, was the culprit. "I never connected the chocolate to my heart palpitations," she admits, shocked to learn that a small evening snack could affect her so dramatically. After eliminating the chocolate from her nightly routine, Meredith saw a remarkable change. Within just a week, her heart rhythm had normalized, and her episodes of nighttime palpitations completely stopped. "I had no idea something so small could impact my heart so dramatically," she reflects, grateful for the simple change that saved her health. Are you willing to risk your heart health for a piece of chocolate or a cup of coffee? It's time to rethink your evening habits. Instead of indulging in caffeine-laden treats, try switching to naturally caffeine-free herbal teas, which are known to promote relaxation and support healthy sleep. If you crave something more filling, a small banana could be the perfect alternative. Bananas contain natural compounds like magnesium and potassium, which are heart-healthy and promote deeper, more restful sleep without putting any strain on your cardiovascular system. Ask yourself this: is that chocolate bar worth the risk of a heart attack or other dangerous cardiac event while you sleep? I don't think so. Make the switch tonight and protect your heart from the harmful effects of caffeine. Your future self will thank you. Food 7. High-fat fried foods. Could that crispy fried chicken be setting you up for a heart attack while you sleep? Do you love those crispy golden fried foods you enjoy for dinner? That seemingly harmless fried meal might be quietly working against you, forcing your heart to work overtime while you sleep. What you eat tonight could very well determine if you wake up tomorrow. Cardiac researchers at the Cleveland Clinic have revealed a shocking truth. Consuming high-fat fried foods before bed increases inflammatory markers in the body by up to 25% during sleep hours. This inflammation creates ideal conditions for plaque rupture, which can lead to a fatal heart attack. The worst part? You won't even know it's happening until it's too late. Dr. Stephen Nissen, chairman of cardiovascular medicine at the Cleveland Clinic, explains that the lipid surge from fried foods triggers a dangerous inflammatory response in the body, which peaks during sleep, when the body's natural defenses against inflammation are at their lowest. The result is a weakened cardiovascular system that's vulnerable to a sudden heart attack during the most peaceful and unsuspecting time of the night. Let me share the story of Gregory, a 69-year-old from Texas who was otherwise a picture of health, until a fateful dinner changed everything. Gregory had just enjoyed a hearty dinner of fried chicken, something he had eaten countless times before. "I had no previous heart issues," Gregory recalls. "I never thought a meal like that could be a problem." But just hours after finishing his fried dinner, he suffered a devastating heart attack in the middle of the night. Gregory's doctors explained that the inflammatory response triggered by the high-fat fried meal had caused a plaque rupture, leading to a midnight heart attack during the deepest phase of his sleep. My cardiologist told me I was lucky to have survived, Gregory says, but many seniors don't make it through an event like that. Now I know that what I eat for dinner could literally kill me in my sleep, Gregory admits, forever changed by the experience. If you've been enjoying fried foods before bed, it's time to reconsider. The risk to your heart is real, and it's more deadly than you might think. Instead of indulging in fatty fried options, choose healthier alternatives like baked, steamed, or grilled meals. If you still crave something crispy, try air-popped popcorn with a dash of salt, a healthier, heart-friendly alternative that won't cause the same inflammatory damage. Ask yourself, is that crispy fried chicken worth not seeing your grandchildren again? The answer should be clear. Make the smarter choice tonight. Protect your heart by swapping those high-fat fried meals for safer, healthier alternatives. Your arteries will thank you, and so will your loved ones. Food 8. High-sodium packaged snacks. Could that snack in your pantry be putting you at risk for a midnight stroke? Do you reach for those convenient packaged snacks before bed, chips, crackers, or pretzels? It might feel like a harmless habit, but it could be putting you at serious risk for a nighttime health emergency. What you eat just hours before bed could be setting you up for a stroke or heart attack while you sleep. Researchers at the American College of Cardiology have found that high-sodium snacks consumed within 3 hours of bedtime can raise nighttime blood pressure by up to 15 points in seniors. This surge in blood pressure creates the perfect storm for a stroke, putting your health in grave danger during the most vulnerable hours of sleep. Dr. Wilbert Arono, a geriatric cardiologist and professor of medicine, explains that nighttime is already a critical period for seniors, when blood pressure regulation is naturally compromised. Adding a sodium-heavy snack to the mix only exacerbates this issue, dramatically increasing the risk of both stroke and heart attack in the early morning hours. Let me tell you the story of Deborah, a 75-year-old from Illinois, who regularly enjoyed a handful of crackers before bed. She had no idea that this innocent snack was silently sabotaging her health. After a routine blood pressure check, her doctor was shocked by the results. Her blood pressure would spike to dangerously high levels between 2 and 4 a.m., putting her at extreme risk for a stroke. "I never thought something so simple could be so dangerous," Deborah says. "When my doctor saw the overnight readings, he was alarmed and immediately told me that my snack habit was the culprit. My blood pressure surged to stroke levels each night after I had crackers before bed." The good news? By eliminating her late-night snack and opting for healthier options, Deborah's blood pressure stabilized within just a few days. "I had no idea my innocent time snack was putting me at such risk every night," she admits, grateful for the life-saving change she made. If you're in the habit of snacking on salty chips or crackers before bed, it's time to take a hard look at what you're eating. You don't have to give up your crunchy snacks entirely, but you can replace them with much healthier options that won't spike your blood pressure. Try fresh cucumber slices or unsalted air-popped popcorn. They'll satisfy your craving for something crunchy while keeping your heart and blood pressure in check. Ask yourself, is the convenience of a salty snack worth risking a stroke in the middle of the night? The answer is clear. Make the healthier choice tonight. Protect your heart and your future by swapping those high-sodium snacks for safer, heart-friendly alternatives. Your life is too valuable to gamble with every bite. Food 9. Artificial sweeteners. Could your sugar-free snack be putting your heart at risk while you sleep? Artificial sweeteners, often found in so-called sugar-free snacks and beverages, may seem like a safe option for those trying to reduce sugar intake. But what if I told you that these sugar substitutes could actually be putting your health in jeopardy? New research is now showing that artificial sweeteners are linked to increased risks of metabolic disorders, and these conditions can place a dangerous amount of stress on your heart, especially while you sleep. Dr. Sarah Holt, a nutrition expert and researcher in metabolic health, explains that artificial sweeteners interfere with the balance of gut bacteria, which plays a key role in regulating inflammation in the body. This disruption can lead to chronic inflammation, and this condition is especially dangerous for seniors, particularly at night when the body's natural defenses are less active. The scariest part? Long-term inflammation, which can be triggered by these sweeteners, has been directly linked to heart disease, stroke, and even higher blood pressure during sleep. that seemingly harmless sugar-free soda or dessert could be silently working against your cardiovascular health. Let me tell you about Marilyn, a 70-year-old woman from California who had been using artificial sweeteners for years, believing they were a healthier option. She regularly drank diet sodas and enjoyed sugar-free cookies before bed. However, over time she began to experience increased nighttime heart palpitations and unexplained fatigue. After a series of tests, her doctor linked the artificial sweeteners to a disruption in her metabolism, which was leading to higher than normal inflammation. Marilyn was shocked. She had no idea that something she considered healthy was causing such harm. "I thought I was doing the right thing by cutting out sugar, but I never imagined that the sweeteners were causing these problems," Marilyn admits. With guidance from her doctor, she eliminated artificial sweeteners from her diet and switched to naturally sweet alternatives. She immediately started feeling better, and her heart palpitations significantly decreased. "It was a wake-up call for me," she says. "I had no idea what these sweeteners were doing to my body." Switching to natural alternatives is easy and much better for your heart. Instead of reaching for artificially sweetened beverages or desserts, try fresh berries for a sweet treat that won't disrupt your metabolism or your heart health. If you crave a bit of chocolate, choose a small piece of dark chocolate without added sweeteners. It offers a healthier dose of sweetness without the artificial risks. Could that sugar-free snack be worth the risk of long-term heart damage? Your health and your heart deserve better. Choose naturally sweet options tonight. This small change could protect your heart while you sleep, giving you one less thing to worry about when you close your eyes. In conclusion, now that you know the 9 dangerous foods seniors should avoid before bedtime, especially processed meats that have directly contributed to fatal heart attacks in their sleep, you can take immediate action to protect your heart. By making these simple but crucial changes to your evening routine, you can significantly reduce your risk of becoming another tragic statistic like Richard or Thomas. It's never too late to make a positive change. Your heart can benefit from small adjustments tonight that will lead to many more healthy tomorrows. You deserve the peace of mind of waking up feeling strong and healthy each morning, ready to enjoy more time with your loved ones.